This image fooled scientists for decades. This one, not even close to its real colors. And this isn't actually a hand at all. For years, these iconic space images have been shared millions of times across the internet. Scientists studied them. News outlets published them. You've probably seen them yourself. But here's what almost nobody knows. We've been getting them wrong. Today, I'm revealing the real story behind the most misunderstood images from space. Images that sparked conspiracy theories, confused scientists, and fooled the entire world. What you're about to discover will completely change how you see the universe. Stick around until the end, because the last one will absolutely blow your mind. Here's the thing about space. It's so incredibly far away and so utterly extreme that even our best technology can deceive us. For decades, scientists, journalists, and even NASA themselves have shared images without fully understanding what they were actually looking at. And honestly, that's not their fault. Space photography isn't like taking a selfie. We're dealing with objects millions of light years away, invisible wavelengths of light, and data that needs to be processed and interpreted. Sometimes we get it wrong. Sometimes we see what we want to see. But as our technology evolved and our understanding deepened, something incredible happened. The real stories behind these images started to emerge. And trust me, the truth is often more fascinating than the misconception. Today, I'm taking you through 6 of the most misunderstood space images in history. From Martian mysteries to nebula confusion, each one has a mind-blowing truth hiding in plain sight. Let's start with one that launched 1,000 conspiracy theories. This is the face on Mars. And yes, for years, people genuinely believed it was built by aliens. When NASA's Viking 1 orbiter captured this image in 1976, it showed what appeared to be a massive face staring up from the Martian surface. We're talking about a structure nearly 2 miles long, with eyes, a nose, and a mouth. The resemblance was uncanny. Almost immediately, the image exploded into popular culture. Books were written. Documentaries were made. Conspiracy theorists argued this was proof of an ancient Martian civilization. Some even claimed NASA was hiding evidence of alien life. And look, it made sense at the time. The image was grainy, taken from orbit, and the shadows fell in just the right way to create this incredibly face-like appearance. Our brains are hardwired to recognize faces. It's called pareidolia. So when we saw this, we couldn't unsee it. But here's where the story gets interesting. In 1998 and again in 2001, NASA sent new orbiters with far superior cameras. The Mars Global Surveyor captured high-resolution images of the exact same location. And when scientists analyzed these new photos, something became crystal clear. There was no face. What we were actually looking at was a completely ordinary Martian mesa, a flat-topped hill. The face was nothing more than a trick of light and shadow combined with low image resolution. When photographed from different angles and with better technology, it looked like, well, just a rock formation. The face on Mars taught us a crucial lesson. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And sometimes, what seems impossibly mysterious is just our brain trying to find patterns where none exist. But if you think that's wild, wait until you see what we got wrong about one of the most famous space images ever taken, the Pillars of Creation. You've definitely seen this image. It's one of the most iconic photographs in astronomical history. Captured by the Hubble Space Telescope in 1995, these towering columns of cosmic gas and dust, where new stars are being born, look absolutely breathtaking with their rich golds, deep blues, and fiery oranges. It's stunning. It's been on posters, textbooks, and screensavers for nearly 3 decades. But here's the truth that most people don't realize. Those aren't the real colors. When this image was first released, millions of people assumed they were seeing the pillars exactly as they appear in space. Natural colors, captured by a telescope, right? Not quite. The reality is far more complex. The Pillars of Creation image is actually a composite created from multiple photographs taken using different filters that capture light wavelengths invisible to the human eye. We're talking about infrared, ultraviolet, and specific wavelengths emitted by different elements like hydrogen and oxygen. Scientists then assigned colors to these different wavelengths to create what's called a false color image. They do this to highlight different chemical compositions and structures that would otherwise be invisible or indistinguishable. If you could somehow float in space next to the pillars of creation and look at them with your own eyes, they would appear mostly as faint, pale clouds, not nearly as vibrant or dramatic. But here's the beautiful part. Those false colors aren't lies. They're translations. They're showing us real data about temperature, chemical composition, and stellar activity that we simply couldn't see otherwise. The colors are artificial, but the information they represent is absolutely real. So the pillars of creation are still incredible, just not in the way most people think. They're a perfect example of how space photography is as much art as it is science. Speaking of things not being what they seem, this is the blue marble, one of the most widely distributed images in human history. You've seen it everywhere, from weather apps to environmental campaigns to elementary school classrooms. When most people look at this iconic photo of Earth from space, they assume it's a single photograph snapped by an astronaut or satellite. One perfect shot of our beautiful blue planet floating in the darkness of space. And that assumption is completely wrong. The original blue marble from 1972, taken by the Apollo 17 crew, was indeed a single photograph. But the version you see most often today, the incredibly detailed 2012 blue marble released by NASA, that's actually a composite of dozens, sometimes hundreds, of separate satellite images stitched together. Here's why this matters. NASA's SWAMI NPP satellite orbits Earth and captures swaths of the planet in strips. These individual images are then carefully pieced together like a massive jigsaw puzzle, with scientists adjusting colors, removing clouds where necessary, and ensuring everything lines up perfectly. They even have to account for the fact that the satellite captures these images over multiple orbits, meaning the lighting and cloud patterns are different for each piece. It's an enormous technical achievement. Now, this doesn't mean the image is fake. Every element in that composite is real satellite data of Earth, but it's processed, assembled, and enhanced to create the seamless, stunning view we recognize. The confusion happens because NASA doesn't always make it obvious that these are composites. They'll often just caption it as Earth from space, and people naturally assume it's a single snapshot. The blue marble reminds us that even our view of our own planet requires interpretation and processing. Reality, especially when viewed from space, is rarely as simple as a single click of a camera. Now, let's talk about an image that made people think they were seeing the hand of God. Look at this image. It's called the Hand of God, and when NASA released it in 2009, it went absolutely viral. I mean, you can see why. It genuinely looks like a massive cosmic hand reaching out through space, complete with fingers, a thumb, and what appears to be glowing energy emanating from its palm. Some people saw it as divine proof. Others called it a cosmic coincidence. Either way, it captivated millions. But here's what's actually happening in this image. What you're looking at is a pulsar wind nebula called PSRB 1509-58, located about 17,000 light-years from Earth. That hand isn't a hand at all. It's a rapidly spinning neutron star, a pulsar that's ejecting enormous amounts of energy and particles into the surrounding gas clouds. The pulsar itself spins 7 times per second and is only about 12 miles across. Yet it's creating this massive structure that spans 150 light-years. The fingers are actually jets of high-energy particles being blasted into space at nearly the speed of light. And just like the pillars of creation, this image uses false colors. NASA captured it using X-ray data from the Chandra X-ray Observatory, then assigned colors based on energy levels. Red represents lower energy X-rays. Blue and green represent higher energy. So why does it look so much like a hand? Pure pareidolia. Our brains are pattern recognition machines, and when we see something that even remotely resembles something familiar, especially something as important as a human hand, we lock onto it immediately. The hand of God isn't evidence of cosmic design. It's evidence of how powerful our perception can be, and how easy it is to see meaning in random cosmic structures. But if you think that's an impressive misunderstanding, wait until you hear about the image that required 8 radio telescopes and an entire planet to create. April 2019, the world witnessed history. Scientists revealed the first ever photograph of a black hole, specifically the supermassive black hole at the center of galaxy M87. The image showed exactly what we hoped to see, a dark circular void surrounded by a glowing orange ring. It was stunning, it was groundbreaking, and almost immediately, people started calling it a photo. But here's the thing, this isn't a photograph in any traditional sense. You can't just point a camera at a black hole and snap a picture. Black holes don't emit light, they trap it. What we're actually seeing is the superheated matter swirling around the black hole's event horizon, glowing intensely before it disappears forever. But the real misunderstanding goes deeper than that. This image wasn't captured by a single telescope. It was created using the Event Horizon Telescope, which is actually a network of 8 radio telescopes scattered across the entire planet, from Hawaii to Antarctica to Spain. These telescopes simultaneously captured radio wave data over several nights. Then, scientists spent 2 years processing petabytes of data, using incredibly complex algorithms to piece together these radio signals into a single coherent image. Think of it like this: if Earth were a giant telescope, these 8 facilities were different parts of its lens, all working together. The final image is a computational reconstruction based on radio waves, not visible light. So when you see that glowing ring, you're not seeing a photo in the way you'd photograph a sunset. You're seeing a data visualization, a scientific interpretation of radio emissions converted into something our eyes can process. Does that make it less real? Absolutely not. It's one of humanity's greatest achievements. But it's important to understand that modern space imaging is far more sophisticated than just clicking a camera button. Now, let's go back in time to a misunderstanding that literally shaped decades of science fiction. Before the face on Mars, before conspiracy theories about aliens, there was an even bigger Martian misunderstanding that captivated the world for decades: the canals of Mars. In 1877, Italian astronomer Giovanni Schiaparelli observed Mars through his telescope and reported seeing what he called canali, straight lines crisscrossing the Martian surface. In Italian, canali simply means channels, natural formations. But when translated to English, it became canals and canals. Well, those are artificial, built by someone. American astronomer Percival Lowell became obsessed with this idea. I'm not. He created detailed maps of Mars showing hundreds of these straight-line canals, intersecting at specific points he called oases. He was convinced these were irrigation systems built by an advanced but dying Martian civilization desperately trying to transport water from the polar ice caps. Lowell wrote books about it. He gave lectures. He built an entire observatory in Arizona specifically to study Mars, and for years, many people believed him. The idea of Martian canals became deeply embedded in popular culture, inspiring countless science fiction stories. There was just one problem: the canals didn't exist. As telescopes improved in the early 1900s, other astronomers couldn't replicate Lowell's observations. By the 1960s, when space probes finally photographed Mars up close, it became undeniable. There were no canals, no straight lines, no geometric patterns. So what was Schiaparelli and Lowell seeing? A combination of optical illusions, the limitations of their telescopes, and something called the connectivity illusion, where our brains connect random features into perceived lines and patterns. They were literally seeing what they expected to see. The canals of Mars taught us that even trained scientists aren't immune to bias and wishful thinking. Observation must always be verified, questioned, and tested. And that brings us to a moment of reflection about all these misunderstandings. Notice a pattern here. These misunderstandings didn't happen because scientists were careless or people were stupid. They happened for 3 fundamental reasons. First, technology limitations. We were working with the best tools available at the time: early telescopes, low-resolution cameras, limited data processing. We can only interpret what we can actually see. Second, human psychology. Our brains are incredibly powerful pattern recognition machines, but that strength is also a weakness. We see faces in clouds, animals in constellations, and canals on Mars. It's called pareidolia, and we all do it. Third, And this is actually the beautiful part, the scientific process itself. Science isn't about being right the first time. It's about making observations, forming hypotheses, testing them, and revising our understanding when new evidence appears. Every single one of these misunderstood images represents science working exactly as it should. We made our best interpretation with available data, then updated our understanding when better data arrived. So the next time you see a shocking space image going viral, ask yourself, is this the original data or heavily processed? What wavelengths am I actually seeing? Who interpreted this? When and with what technology? Critical thinking isn't about doubting everything. It's about understanding the difference between what we observe and what we interpret. Now, remember that mind-blowing image I promised you at the beginning? This is Pluto, and yes, it has a giant heart on its surface. When NASA's New Horizons spacecraft flew past Pluto in 2015, this image absolutely broke the internet. After decades of seeing Pluto as just a blurry dot, we finally got a crystal clear view. And there it was, a massive heart-shaped region staring back at us from 3 billion miles away. Most people assumed it was just a beautiful cosmic coincidence, a random arrangement of surface features that happened to look like a heart. Sweet, but meaningless. Except that's not what scientists discovered. That heart, officially named Tombaugh Regio after Pluto's discoverer, is actually the result of incredibly specific and active geological processes. The left side of the heart, called Sputnik Planitia, is a massive basin filled with nitrogen ice. And it's not just sitting there, it's constantly moving. The nitrogen ice in this basin actually flows in convection cells, similar to a lava lamp, completely resurfacing the area every 500,000 years. This makes it one of the youngest surfaces in our solar system, less than 10 million years old on a 4.5 billion-year-old dwarf planet. The right side of the heart shows completely different terrain, heavily cratered and ancient, creating this stark contrast that enhances the heart shape. But here's the truly mind-blowing part. That basin wasn't always where it is now. Scientists believe a massive ancient impact created it, and over millions of years. The weight of the accumulated ice actually shifted Pluto's entire rotational axis, reorienting the dwarf planet. So Pluto's heart isn't just a random coincidence. It's a geological feature so massive and so heavy that it literally changed how an entire world spins in space. What we thought was just a cute surface pattern turned out to be evidence of dramatic planetary evolution. And that, right there, is why space will never stop surprising us. So there you have it. 6 iconic space images that fooled scientists, confused the public, and reminded us that the universe is far stranger and more complex than any single photograph can capture. From the face on Mars to Pluto's geologically active heart, each of these misunderstandings taught us something valuable. They showed us the limits of our technology, the quirks of human perception, and most importantly, the beauty of the scientific process. Because here's the truth. What we think we know about the universe today will look completely different a decade from now. New telescopes will reveal new details. Better technology will correct old assumptions. And some image we're looking at right now, thinking we understand it perfectly, will turn out to be something entirely different. And that's what makes space exploration so incredibly exciting. We're not just looking at distant objects. We're constantly rewriting our understanding of reality itself. So, which one surprised you the most? The false colors of the pillars of creation, the computational magic behind the black hole image? Let me know in the comments. I genuinely want to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed uncovering these space mysteries, make sure to subscribe because I've got more mind-bending content coming your way. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep looking up, but always question what you see. The universe is full of surprises, and we're just getting started.